Check, check, check. Oh my God, does this thing even work? I haven't turned this thing on for what? A week or something? Hey guys. There it is. You can't hear it. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Oh man. So I want to show you guys some of the stuff I've been doing, because I did a couple little jobs, summer stuff, you know. If you guys recall, if you used to watch me a long time ago, I did the same thing. I would do landscaping. Can you guys even hear me? Hold on. Let me check. I haven't done this in forever. I did the same. Yeah. So you guys know, if you were around a few years back, I did some landscaping jobs in the summertime. And guess what? I'm down to, for those of you that are interested in me tracking my weight loss, I'm down to 210, which is good, because when I got sick and I was in bed for like 2 weeks, I was up to like 230 or 225. I think it's the heaviest I'd ever been. But anyway, I was sick. So hold on. I've got a video of us cutting down a tree. I'm going to show you if I can find it. I got so much footage. You guys are going to love some of the footage that I have. Oh, here we go. It's really good. Yeah. So what we were doing was chopping down trees and then cutting all the limbs off. And then, you know, sliced a tree up, and then we take the limbs and throw them in the fire. And let me find hey Ninja, happy 4th everyone, hope you're having a fabulous day. You too. I want to do a fireworks stream later tonight. I want to find one of the live firework thingies, like celebrations that you see on the internet, and I used to do that all the time. Oh, here, I've got a video. So while we were chopping down trees, it started to rain a little bit while the sun was out, and there was a rainbow, and I got this really awesome video of Bowser, the pup. Hold on, because what happens, I zoom in on the rainbow, and then Bowser is in the frame. Hold on, he's so freaking cute. It's not this one. Hold on, I'm almost to it. Like I said, I have just massive amounts of video now, and the majority of the video will be what I use in the background of my uploads, because yeah, I worry about copyright and stuff like that. People, it's getting crazy out on YouTube, y'all. Oh, hold on. That's not it. Okay, the one that I want to show you has Bowser, like, running. Oh, here, I'll show you the fire, because I think it's a really good background video. I know this is the boring part. Well, here's what it basically is. This isn't the one, but the really good one I have has Bowser running around right after I zoom in on the firework. I don't have it right here, but oh well. Yeah, so what I did was I have this, like, this camera. Hold on. Hey gamer. Hey everybody. Happy 4th. Happy 4th. Hold on. I didn't even think about putting the chat in. I don't know if it'll work because I've been recording, and I might have to click some buttons to get the chat to pop up. Maybe not. Let's see. Here we go. Cross your fingers. Yes. All right. Yeah, boy. Do we have 40 people watching? Oh my God, bro. I thought we'd have like 10 people because I haven't streamed in days and days. So yeah, like what I've been doing is trying to get zoomed in video. If you guys saw the last batch of video that I showed you live, I got a whole bunch of zoomed in video, and this is what's going to be in the background of my videos instead of me like using, I used to use a lot of video game footage, which I'm still going to, but I'm going to use like certain video game footage. It looks pretty. Okay, we're not here to talk about that. I'm a rambler. You know I'm a rambler. We're here because Menace did an excellent video. Our old buddy Menace to Sobriety did an excellent video. I just shared it on the community tab. Now, I might be crazy. I might have already reacted to this video with you guys. And here's the description. And this is why we're here. But first, I'm going to talk to the live chat. Hey, Karen. Good to see you. Hey, gamer. In your face. Hey, everybody. Do me a favor, guys. You see that little heart button that's on there? Tell me what it does when you click it. Tell me what that little heart button does. Yeah, I had to go out and make some money right away. Oh, I see it now. Oh my gosh, it worked. Okay, that's what it does. Okay, so it pops up down in the live chat for me. Excellent. Excellent. I haven't streamed since they added that thing a few days ago, so Okay, hold on. Okay. PayPal.me original Menace. Definitely support Menace. Definitely support me. Hey, thanks, Menace, for reminding me. Haven't even put it in yet. PayPal.me/Unirock. Money sign Unirock is how you support me if you unta. You don't gotta. But I always pin that right there. So let me get it pinned. And we are pinned. Okay. So then he says, Unirock has filed a response to his LOL suit. I figured I'd weigh in on a couple things. Okay, I'm not going into that. Man, I miss streaming with you guys. So I had to raise some money. I needed to raise a little more money for, you know, to pay for the lawyer and for things that are going on due to this lawsuit. So I took a job. But you guys know I do contract work. So I can contract either to do computer work because I'm certified on a bunch of stuff, or I can contract and do labor or do landscaping or things like that. Now, I didn't do any landscaping. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I did because, of course, there's stalkers stalking my family like crazy right now, which you guys should know by now. But I did go and do some work, you know, that I could get paid immediately for. So that's why I didn't stream for a bit. And anyway, I wanted to take a break anyway. It's too nice out to not go out with the family, and the kids are out of school, and then we have a puppy, and it's been a mess trying to, you know, deal with having a puppy and factoring the puppy into the rest of the family activities. But then I'll talk about that sometime on Kick or on a Twitter stream or something, because, you know, that's not for here. Anyway, so let's go ahead and preview Menace's video. Then I'll talk to the live chat. Then I'll give you an update because JLR has been stalking my family even more now. And as I updated you with, he decided to even message people that are barely related in a relationship way with the people that know me. So basically, if somebody knows me in real life, even like someone who I'd only met a handful of times, I've only met them a handful of times, he has messaged. Now, I know I told you this like a week and a half ago or something, but he's done it more since then. And what's funny is I haven't been spending a lot of time looking around at the, you know, Molly, the Go Lightly channels out there, you know, the ones that took over for Molly when she got banned and decided to go from debunker to tragedy pimp themselves for, you know, the attention, the money, the drama, or whatever drove them to do that. I haven't been paying attention to them, but I decided to do a quick look to see if any of them had called this out, and I couldn't find anything. Now, again, I'll admit I didn't give a in-depth look, but what I figured we could do is maybe some of you, if you've paid attention to any of that garbage, maybe you can let me know on a Kick stream or another stream where I spend more time with the live chat. Has anybody been calling out the fact that this is happening? Has anybody called out the fact that this is a frivolous lawsuit? Have any of them decided to weigh in on that? Because I have, thanks to Menace, seen how some people have responded, okay, barely any, to the complaint that he filed. But one thing that Menace does show is the proof that I responded, that I answered the lawsuit. So right here it is. On 6/16, I answered the lawsuit. So there's no one that can say I didn't. There's no one that can say that I lied or anything like that, or whatever they were trying to say. Like, first, as you remember, I was lying about there being a threatening letter sent to me, which there was. Then I was lying about any other thing they could say I was lying about. All of it essentially was whatever was happening at that moment, whatever new piece of information, Unirock's lying about it. I haven't really seen anybody correct any of the garbage they said about me since this has kind of turned. But I have seen other people try to start really dumb drama, but we're not going to go into that. So anyway, I just want to make sure that everybody knows this. You know, it isn't easy. Like, you know how these people out there, these tragedy pimps, they'll act like that the police should just snap their fingers and solve a true crime case. Why haven't the cops arrested Brian Koberger yet? Why haven't the cops found somebody for this crime yet? Why haven't the cops found why haven't the cops gone through an entire landfill 3 times, you know, 6 feet deep yet, right? That is the same mindset for people who want to demand that somebody do something immediately when it comes to a busy, professional, real lawyer. I can't tell them to drop what they're doing. I have to make appointments. I have to go through the process. And what this proves is that I have told the truth about that process, about me being away from streaming and uploading due to the fact that I need to not only go and do all of those things, but I have to pay for it out of my own pocket. And another thing I haven't heard from people, there were people out there that claimed that I would e-beg for the money to do this, or that I would file a fundraiser for the money to do this, which, by the way, I could have done a fundraiser for the money to do this, as you all know. I could have given you the option to donate to a fundraiser to raise the money, and I didn't. So not only did I not capitalize on the drama when it came to the lawsuit by, you know, arguing with all these people that were trying to lie on me and going back and forth with them. Not only did I not do that, showing that I wouldn't capitalize on that drama, showing that I would not tragedy pimp my own lawsuit, as these people have been criticizing all these other YouTubers for, proving that I am not the tragedy pimp or whatever. Wicked! Welcome back. Happy 4th. Well, thank you. I didn't go anywhere. I just had to work a little bit. That's all. I just had to work a little bit. I had to make some extra money. By the way, I still have to raise money for the lawsuit. So we're just going to stream our asses off and upload our asses off so that we can give more money. But as you see here, even though I wasn't properly served, as you know, I obtained my lawyer and I answered this. Yeah, I think the last time I streamed for you, I told you there's going to be a lot more work, a lot more process to do this. There's going to be a lot more of me being dragged away from things that I want to do because of everything that's going on. And I warned you all that. Hey, Smiles, thank you. Here, let me click this heart button for you. I'm clicking the heart button because you did that. Thank you. Anyway, though, that's just one thing that I don't want I want the people out there that are lying still to this day about me. They can lie all they want. I'm going to maintain the same standard that I've had throughout this entire thing. I'm going to maintain the same standard that I apply to the tragedy pimps, to the people that I criticize, to myself and my situation. And when these people that are out there lying about me constantly want to just lie and lie and lie, but they don't want to talk about the fact that any of these things that are going on, they want to lie about the fact that I answered the lawsuit, just pretend like I'm going to default it, and then I'm not doing any of the things I said. They want to lie and say that I ran away from my channel or some shit, right? That's because they need to convince you that doing these things are simple things these things are simple, these things are fast, these things are easy, these things do not cause, you know, family members of mine who are being targeted by JLR directly, with him contacting them and saying things to them and all this garbage that he's doing. Again, not only to all of anyone who he can find that's around me, but even people that know those people he is contacting. I could give the best example by again saying that if I've met one person who he contacted probably 6 or 7 times, I'm being generous, in my entire life. I had actually seen them and talked to them on the phone or in person 6 or 7 times in my entire life. And that person and people around that person were contacted in this stalking campaign, again, because he wants to shut me up. He wants to do things to me that he knows are going to and affect my personal life. Not only affect my personal life, but if you affect my personal life, you're going to affect my YouTube channel. Because again, my YouTube channel, while I do it pretty much with all my spare time, and even with daily streaming and uploading, as you know, it's not my main income. It's not my main thing. I am disabled and retired, and I have been for a while. So, you know, you could imagine that maybe I'm working a full-time job and I'm doing YouTube. And if there's something going on in my personal life, I'm not going to take it away from my full-time job. I'm going to have to take it away from YouTube. Same concept. Same concept. You know, it's a little bit of a stretched concept, but it's the same concept, if you get what I'm saying. Hey, Smiles. Hey, JB, what's up? Oh my God, is that our top? Oh my goodness, I missed you, buddy. Hey, have you been doing okay, man? Drawing anything good? All that stuff. Again, I haven't been talking to the people that I typically talk to every day because I still am not using Discord. As I told you, I stopped using Discord when the big drama happened. So, because I'm not going to feed it and be a part of it, and participate in fantasies and lies by people that are driven. I don't even know what would drive them, you know. It's just so ridiculous, but I'm not going to participate. So we can then move in to reacting to Menace's video. Now, I don't know. I think I might have reacted to this video. I don't know. I can't remember, because I don't remember reacting to a video since, or I'm sorry, that had this in it. I know that somebody mentioned it in a video that I reacted to. Anyway, since we're coming back in from me having to not stream for a bit, I'm going to go ahead and just start over. And if I have reacted to this video, who cares? I am going to skip it when it gets to Elmo, KC, because she's in this a lot. Elmo's in this a lot. I'm going to skip where Elmo's at and just listen to what Menace has to say and show the videos that Menace has. Because one thing that Menace does here is prove that I did not defame anybody. But what's funny is, and please correct me in the chat, I've been working on how to draw, hold on, this little, you know what, that little heart's nice, but it blocks the bottom chat. It blocks the bottom chat. There. I've been working on how to draw book at the moment. Oh, nice, dude. Well, then, bro, you already draw excellent, so I can't wait to see what happens after you train up a little bit. Make sure you keep me posted. Anyway, where was I? Correct me if this isn't true. From what I heard, though, I feel that there are some people that are acting as if I defamed JLR. They are defending and taking his side in this, right? Now, again, if that's not correct, let me know in the chat. I will retract what I said. Hold on a minute. Hey, bro, Bubba. Now, I have to run to do it whenever you want. Thank you. So yeah, back to what I was saying though. If I'm wrong on that, you can let me know. But that's what I got from listening to her. I basically have heard her state that she thinks it's defamation or something. Now, the great part about Menace's video, you know, Menace has been beating me to the punch. And the great thing about his video is he actually shows the video where he is degrading this woman. Okay? And this is when I saw him degrade this woman. Now, I don't think Menace showed the poo-poo stain, but you know, if you watched me react to this video, that he did show the poo-poo stain in these panties. But Menace states here, attempts to embarrass and degrade the woman who just left. According to JLR, she left his home and she forgot some of her clothes. And so he used his YouTube channel to do this. I'm not so sure it's defamatory to state he targets women. Well, it's not, because when I stated that he targets women, I named the women specifically that he targeted, okay? Which makes it factual, not defamatory, but anyway. And then he goes into a little more stuff here, and this is what we're going to actually look at, is what Menace decided to pull, and Menace found some things that I haven't found yet. So this is going to be interesting. Been working on, oh, I read that. Yeah, the heart button blocking the comment is annoying. I know, Spooky. Hopefully what they'll do, if they can move it over to where, hold up. You know what they could do? If they move it just a few millimeters, I don't know. Like, instead of being right here, if they can move it right here, and it'll block this, but that's okay. I don't think it's a problem to block this a little bit. Then it would be okay, right? They'll work on it. It's a brand new thing. I like what they're trying to do. It's another thing that YouTube is trying to add to the live streaming and live interaction experience with creators. You know what I think they should do? Allow us to personalize the buttons, because you actually on Twitch, that's where they got that idea from, is Instagram and Twitch. On Twitch, you can put your own emojis and make them pop up on your screen. And I would love for that to be able to happen. I'd love for you guys to be able to do that while I'm streaming. Pop little emojis up on the screen. That would be awesome. Okay, so let's let Menace, of course, decides to, in the most genius and the most awesome way, he adds all of his editing prowess, and he's at his top of his game. So let's take a quick look, and we're going to skip through a lot of this. So of course, you're going to want to go to his channel. I shared this on the community tab, so it's easier to find than anything else. You're going to want to go to his channel, and you're going to want to watch the full thing. If I were you, I definitely would skip the parts with Mrs. Whiny Pants on here. Again, you know, it's funny because what this whole situation has shown another point about the internet and YouTube that I think is good to be shown. And that is that if people out there who the Menace uses a YouTuber who I had to debunk years ago, and this happens every conspiracy theory that I've ever debunked, where's the patch chat? I'll get it up in a minute. I was recording, so I had to click. Hey, Sang. Is that Sang? Hey, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. Every conspiracy theory that I had ever debunked, that creator that I debunked would turn into a hater. Now, they would pretend that they were a criticizer. They would pretend that they had some factual or actual issue with something I was doing. But in reality, if you looked at the content that I did and you looked at what they did in response, it was factual to see that these people were basically just upset. We could use the word butthurt if we wanted to, about the fact that the money maker that they had was a lie, and it was debunked by myself and by the peeps. And therefore, from the moment that I debunked going forward, at least for a few years, if they did lose a big money maker, they would constantly whine and cry and attack me and make their hate videos. Now, again, a hate video is different than a criticism video. You know, a criticism video is something where you actually criticize a person and you give them criticism, which is a past state, something they can do to change their behavior and not do the thing wrong that you're saying they're doing. And then also, though, a fail state, which would be continue to do what you're doing. And then, of course, this is a bad thing and yada, yada. You get that. And a hate video is a video where you're just attacking somebody or you don't like somebody. Now, the problem is they didn't just go live or upload a video and say, I don't like him. He sucks. He debunked me. He debunked my conspiracy. He made fun of me and laughed at me. So now I make these videos attacking him every day for years. They don't say that. They lie. They try to put up a front that they are criticizing or whatever, and instead of being honest about what they're saying, and one big way that I've always been able to differentiate between someone that's actually criticizing and between someone that's not is I look and see, did they play my clip in full context? And of course, I'm not asking them to play big, long things. I'm saying the context of what they're criticizing or what I'm saying. Did they play the clip? And I'm not saying did they play a clip, because since I started making that point, some of these people would just play a clip of me that didn't relate to what they're saying I said or did whatsoever. But of course, because they don't ever actually do that. But anyway, my point here is that, like with the conspiracy theorists and fraudraisers that we've debunked in the past, as you guys know, those of you that have been through it with us for all these years, those of you that have went back and watched the old content, if you're new, some of the old videos, once you debunk, once you expose the fraudraiser, they will do anything in their power to follow you around and attack you. And of course, I bring that up because Menace's video contains a person who fits that description perfectly. And it's a good thing, as I was trying to say. I'm trying to get to my point, but again, I haven't been speaking every day for the last week or two, so I'm a little rusty. You'll have to bear with me here. But this person is, it's interesting to see how they react to me having a frivolous lawsuit thrown at me. Just because they don't like me, you would think, no matter how much you hate somebody, right? Let's say you hate another person. Like, you don't like another person. Let's say, well, they say they're not locals. So if they're not locals, they can't hate me. Then, you know, that would be them taking this all way too seriously, because, you know, hating someone that has opinions about what you do or debunked you in the past, that's some local shit, taking some shit way too seriously, right? So they don't hate me, but they say they just have a massive dislike for me. And someone that has a massive dislike for someone else, if that person would desire them to falsely have their rights taken from them and falsely be attacked in this way, well, of course, that would show that they have the ultimate butthurt, the ultimate narcissistic injury. They have the ultimate angry state against the person. And it is interesting to see, at least the clip I saw in the end of this, where they're talking about my opinion that if you take a woman's panties and you go to your YouTube channel and hold them up to shame her and show stains in those panties to shame that woman, my opinion that you hate women and that you are targeting women by doing that, which you factually are doing both of those things, and me criticizing it. And by the way, they're acting as if I just said one sentence. No, I fully explained logically how. It's like saying if you go up and you punch a woman in the face, like, hey, this woman left me. I'm going to record myself on my YouTube channel live walking up to her and punching her in the face. I'm going to say the same things, right? You shame her, whatever reason, and you want to wield the YouTube channel that you have against the woman, and you, for some reason, don't think that that's hateful, you don't think that that's shameful and all of that, that blows my mind. But in the very least, it is an opinion that I'm allowed to have if you're going to upload yourself doing this to a woman. Combined with the fact of what happened with Buster Murdoch's wife, well, isn't it crazy that knowing that these things that I stated are factual because they have a basis, they have a video source, and they have a mainstream media article source, and even a news broadcast source for many of these things, you know, how could you hold the opinion that I defamed the man? Well, again, they don't like me. You'll notice that if the people hated me before the lawsuit, they're gonna, you know, just jump on the wagon. And that is a good thing for people on YouTube to realize, because before things like this happen, you could think back to some of the stories that we've debunked. I'll give you an example. Back when we had debunked or exposed the cancer, the fake cancer fraudraiser by Ilya Moon, people were saying they wouldn't believe it. They said, no one is going to fake cancer like that in such a flagrant way. It's not possible. That mindset of not realizing something is happening because you think it's such an extreme thing for a person to do, you can't actualize yourself saying it must not have been that way. There must be another explanation because of how extreme this thing is. You get that thought process like with the cancer fraud raiser. And another example is the fake funeral fraud raiser, where they wanted $30,000, $40,000 to bury a friend who didn't have a funeral. People said to themselves, there must be another explanation. Same concept hits people's minds. This is called cognitive dissonance, by the way, and it's a form of it. That same concept hits people's mind because your brain is conditioned to think that no one would do something that extreme, that stupid, and that flagrant. If you are going to do something that incredibly stupid, you're never going to record yourself doing it, live stream yourself doing it, broadcast yourself doing it, right? So the cognitive dissonance is a major factor in the beginning when people realize some of these very extreme scams, fraud raisers, LOLSUITs, they hit you like that. And you do have to actually see the evidence and process it for a bit so that you can be like, damn, I can't believe it. But yeah, that is what happened. And I'll apply that concept, that thought process here to this person, this YouTuber who hates me, that's willing to back what you're about to see in Menace's video from the mainstream media, from news reporters, and from videos that they release themselves, literal sourced content, no defamation. And they're willing to jump on any bandwagon against their enemies. I left a comment on Menace's video, and I made this point. I'm not going to read it because I don't want to go waste my time searching, but I made this. It's on Unirock 2, not rockAlot is why. I made this point when I left a comment on Menace's video. I said, why is it that they're willing to jump on a bandwagon against a person that in order to say, I support this person having their rights taken away and being falsely sued and having their family stalked and harassed and doxxed and all of these things because I don't like their opinion that they had on the scams and fraud raisers of the past, right? It's an extreme thought that a lot of people will say, oh, nobody's that evil, nobody's that nasty, nobody's that cringy. And again, that's the core of the content I've shown you for many, many years when it comes to cringe. Yes, there are people that are that cringy. And it's funny because they were defending him holding up the panties and saying that you can't say that a person hates a woman and hates women if they're willing to shame them with their panties in a derogatory, in a embarrassing way in front of tens of thousands or whatever of people. Uni can't hold the opinion that you hate women if you do that you are hateful and doing this to women and targeting them if you do that. Uni's defaming a person for thinking that due to you holding up that underwear. They're willing to take that mindset that I could defame a person who's doing these things to women. It's mind-boggling because if you look at the people who they have a reputation of hating, as you all know, Katie Joy, they are fine with Katie Joy having things happen to her that are massively worse than that. They carry opinions that are much worse than the opinion I hold about somebody doing this, and it's perfectly fine in that situation. And these are the logical disconnections that prove to you that they're lying, that it's a con, it's another scam. They want to scam people into thinking like they think. Again, by manipulating cognitive dissonance, manipulating people that have a hard time accepting that someone will go to these lengths. You follow me? This is the biggest load of bull hockey, LMAO. Wicked. Wait till you hear a little bit more. Here we go.
May be in big trouble.
Just wait. You ain't seen nothing yet, Wicked.
For tampering with mail belonging to James Holmes. We found him bragging about it online, and we asked the feds about it. They suspect fraud and confirm they're investigating where the suspect's mail may be going now. That's this man, who was just released from federal prison in April after serving 10 years for wire fraud. The yellow mail forwarding sticker shows an address in Pennsylvania where Riches lives. We contacted postal inspectors about it. They checked it out and told 9 Wants to Know they think the stickers are real. There is now a criminal investigation. Denver-based postal inspector Pamela Durkee said in a statement, a change of address for Holmes had been filed that may be fraudulent. In the meantime, Riches has been posting some very odd YouTube videos about James Holmes and appears to be quite obsessed with the suspect.
Well, and so that is probably was paparazzi in a past life. You know, that's the thing. You know, we can't allow this kind of evil. I've defended people the entire time I've been on this platform against false lawsuits, against false strikes, against doxing and harassment, because all of these things meet the same consequence. It's a way for that person to try to protect their grift, to try to protect their lies, to try to protect their second face that they have behind their mask from being exposed by another YouTuber that knows what they're doing, methodically reporting the truth. And they want to stop that person at all cost. And they have a toolbox that is the same between every instance of them doing this. And you know this, and I know this. And another thing that I love showing you guys in these stories is the amount of people that on YouTube, I'm talking about YouTube creators, who will defend and back a person until their little trend ends. And they don't wait a month or 6 months or a year to stab anyone in the back, to try to betray people and change opinions or come out with complaints that they've been holding in for months. When I told you that by the end of this, the community that we built will eat each other alive and attack people, where they will do the things that we've seen them do in the last month or so. That is part of a story. I'd said this since I first started covering all of this, because I've said this since I started on YouTube. This is a part of every story. The people that are just there to try and ride the trend that they see happening, those people notice that with the main tragedy pimp or the main conspiracy theorist or the main fraudraiser runner being exposed. Now that person loses all their power, especially if they're banned. Especially if they have some big event happen where something like that comes to the surface. And because I'm not able to predict these things happening due to a crystal ball, I don't have one, but as you all know, it's not because of a guess. It's because it's a literal part of a story. It's guaranteed that the creators who are not here to do content exposing the tragedy pimping, content exposing the doxing, exposing the things that you've watched us do day after day after day since we appeared here, they don't do those things. They were just mimicking what trend they saw happening at the time so that they could fit in on that trend and gain views, clicks, and money from that trend. And, you know, I was wrong about who and how far it would go in that community, but that was my optimistic side. The reason I made the prediction that it would happen to some of the smaller people in that community, not the people in the focus of everything, is because that was a desire of mine. That was a wish of mine. You know, I as you know, with previous fraud raisers that we've busted, I love having people that want to, because it's a thing that a lot of people want to do. They get ripped off, and they want to do something with their time on the internet or their time on YouTube to help expose other fraud raisers, because they were ripped off, and they feel that if they help, that it will help more people not get ripped off, which is a fact. That is a fact. It does help. And that's why we try to only people that want to go out and, you know, submit the tweets or submit the videos that they find or whatever it is. They want to archive things for us. We just allow people to do it, of course, because I can't stop them. You know, they're their own people, but also because anyone in the community that is doing those things, archiving videos, archiving posts, sharing them, liking them, you know, making sure that they weigh in and that they help expose, they help share the message that these fraud raisers are fraud raisers, or they share the message that a scam is a scam. It is what makes it more powerful. It's a more powerful way to expose and stop these scams and cons. And the turning in of the community is, as I've said in the past, is typically equal to or parallel with the in an equal way parallel with the let's say drama or the dramaticness. That's, I don't know what word to use. The more I'd say dirty the community is, the more gossipy the community is, the more cancel culture that a community is, then you'll have more people that come out stabbing in the back. They come out creating drama in their own community. Literally, you know, it's like a Scooby-Doo mystery thing. They pull off their mask. You know, they got the nonsense mask and they pull it off and it's the real nonsense. Ha ha ha, I've been here to cause chaos, attack people, lie, and spread misinformation the whole time. But, you know, hey, got you guys for a while, didn't I? You know, these things are that level of craziness is equal to the amount of drama. So when you have a community that basically exposes people like Molly and them, there's a good number of those people that came into the community because they were attracted to Molly in the beginning. And while there are good people that can be fooled into being attracted to Molly, the majority of people that are going to be fooled into being attracted to Molly are gossipy and nasty, and they desire a fight. They desire to pick on somebody. And that also may have been a reason why we saw a lot of people picking on Molly and picking on Betty from their own community. Now, that's their own fault. That's just a condition of what Betty and Molly were doing. They created many enemies in their own community by going around doxing and harassing people, right? So it's just going to happen. But anyway, let's get started from the beginning. Did I play the whole news clip?
Either way, he's got the attention of the feds.
So either way, he's got the attention of the feds. And it says, Holmes says he would do it again in a newly released video. This guy is such an evil person. He's a demon walking. He was.
Defendant malicious.
Okay, so there's there's Elmo out there playing her normal game, basically exposing the fact that she is, to everybody, that she still, for whatever reason, is controlled by her pettiness. Cannot accept the truth and reality. But it is pretty cringy. I'd show it to you if it was relevant in any way. It's not.
Round one, fight.
Now that's a thumbnail, baby. Now that's a thumbnail. It's just insane. Notice that people are saying that I avoided service. This is people saying this. Again, these are people that have a grudge against me. So they just go out and lie. The first thing I did was contact a lawyer. Contacting a lawyer is not avoiding service. That's the literal exact opposite of avoiding service. But if you look, these are the people that are out there that lie due to whatever issue they've had in the past with me, and they go out and lie and troll because they are, of course, just that. That's all they are. They're just liars. They're just defamers themselves. It's just they operate on lies. There you go, baby. There you go. Did any of these people out there, and that was just a few examples of people who lied and said that I was avoiding service. I wasn't served. How am I avoiding service when I wasn't served? See what I'm saying? It's a lie from the very beginning. But of course, they have to jump in on the train that nonsense was pushing and that a few other people were pushing when they lost their drama cow, their lol cow. Molly's gone. She was the 80,000 subs. You don't get views when you sit and break down Betty. You don't get views when you sit and break down these other people. So, of course, what are you going to do? What actually is going to get views? Making outrageous false claims about people in the community and that you don't like for whatever reason, whether it be jealousy, whether it be hatred, whether it be to troll, whether it be whatever, maybe in the examples on Twitter, the people directly there have been, you just scroll their Twitter and see that that their entire life is attacking me. Of course, they're going to just lie. They're not going to correct themselves. They don't. They're not going to apologize. They don't have a standard. They themselves do not have to be honest. But of course, anybody they talk about must be honest with everything that comes out of their mouths, right? They can't even speak a mistake. You can't misspeak, I mean. And, when you're trying to say busy, but you accidentally say dizzy or something, you just don't even hear it in your head. You think you said busy. You can't even do that without them jumping on you. Though they can directly, factually, straight out lie. You see what I'm saying? No, Kelly, not a single thing. I'm sorry. Like I've said, there have been way more capable people who have doxed and attacked me for years. There's these people thinking that they have, when they couldn't find anything, as and it is kind of just repeating of something that happened a few weeks ago, but it's definitely worth repeating. Nonsense started to lie and try to claim that I had a criminal record, right? Did you take something and you make a claim that can't be, proven by, I can't I don't have a criminal record. I don't, but they're saying I do. How do I show you that I don't have one, right? How do I do that?
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature
Why did Doug I don't even know who Doug is.
presentation.
Yeah, I've been doing content up here. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
We wanted to reiterate that these legal actions are not something we wanted to do.
It's nothing but lies. Nothing but lies. But, so we're going to skip a lot of these lies.
That have portraying his defendant defame not.
Here we go. See, when the mainstream media has articles like this about you because you choose to go and stalk a woman, a lawyer, or this man who, again, I don't like Buster Murdaugh. I don't like his wife just because she's with Buster Murdaugh. That's probably a bad thing for me to admit, right? Because I don't want to be judgmental. I'm not going to judge Buster Murdaugh's wife just because she's with Buster, because she could be lied to like other people are with the opinions that I hold on Buster Murdaugh. Because I do hold bad opinions. As you know, if you watched any of the content that I did on any of this, I don't hold any good opinion on Buster Murdaugh or his family or any of the things that happened around him. I don't make it a focus of my content, but I do make sure, to be caught up on the things that are going on in the stories that we're covering. I have to. So do I want to judge a wife not knowing how long she's been with him? Has she been there since the beginning and participated or had indirect knowledge? Is she like the wife of the Sopranos guy? Have you watched The Sopranos? By the way, you're not allowed to watch The Sopranos. Did you know this? This is some other content that I would like to cover, but the actor in The Sopranos that played Paulie, I think his name was Paulie or something like that, He was the younger nephew of Tony Soprano, said that he doesn't want anyone watching The Sopranos or any movie that he's ever been in, even though he didn't write the movies. He doesn't own the movies. He doesn't get to say whether, if he didn't want, you know what he should do? He should be given all the money back from those movies that he was in. But he doesn't want you watching if you hold certain viewpoints on certain societal things that are going on out there. So if you hold an opinion that he doesn't like, he does not want you watching Goodfellas because he was in it. He doesn't want you watching The Sopranos. I know I'm getting off topic. I got to watch myself. I got to stop myself because, again, I've been inundated in actual content that I want to cover and not really in the stuff that we covered back then with this stuff. But anyway, Buster Murdaugh, I don't like him. I don't hold good opinions about him. Should I judge his wife? There would be, if that wife was like Tony Soprano's wife, she had no idea what Tony was doing. She thought he was just, could you blame her though? Could you say, like, how do you not know? How do you not hold a suspicion? Shouldn't you have looked a little deeper? I don't know what their relationship is like, and I don't want to just blatantly judge another human being like that. But I will tell you this. I don't hold a favorable base opinion for Buster Murdaugh's wife. I'm not going to judge her, but I am going to be skeptical. More skeptical, less trusting than I would be with anyone else. Though I will still defend both of these people from being followed, being stalked at their homes, and having inappropriate things yelled at them because of opinions you hold about them. I find people that do those things disgusting. I find people that do those things fucked up people. You don't have, so why is it that you don't pick somebody that you don't like and you don't go to their home, or you don't try to intercept them in public and you don't yell things at them and try to cause a scene and try to do things to impress the rabid few people that watch you on the internet? Like, why would that be a bad thing? Why do you yourself not do this to people that you don't like? You have better things to do, number one. You got better things to do. You don't hate your enemies, number two. You're not a hateful person. You don't wish ill will on people, and that even if you don't like that person, that you disagree with somebody, it doesn't mean you hate that person. I know right now in society and on the internet, it's popular for you to hate somebody that you don't like. It's popular for you to form into groups against people that you don't like. That is cancel culture. It doesn't mean that you can't have a voice and actually oppose behaviors of people. That's fine. The point is that you shouldn't be trying to cause a mob against a person, or even a singular stalker against a person. Buster Murdaugh and his wife claim that they have been being stalked by JLR. I showed the news broadcasts. I showed the mainstream media articles. I gave my opinion on it fairly, right? You know this. I know this. I'm not going to read it.
A man may be in big trouble for tampering with mail belonging to...
Okay, we watched this, so let me skip it. And let me skip Elmo. So Menace makes a point to show this. This doesn't seem normal to me. It's almost like these statements are all true.
Connecticut. We are going to go to the house of Ryan and Adam Lanza.
Yeah, it seems like the statements that I made are all sourced to videos, mainstream media articles, and actual history. I get it. There's things about all of our past that we don't like. There's things that we do and we change, or we become different people and we end up not liking what we did in the past. But that's completely different from not changing, doing the same fucked up things to people, doing the same type of evil behaviors to others because you have a monetary benefit, you have maybe a social media benefit, maybe you have some form of mental dopamine benefit you get from whatever you're doing. But either way, the point is, it's fucked up. I got lost my track there, but you got what I was saying. I go to the places where things happen, Menace shows JLR, Jonathan Lee Riches, JLR Investigates, saying, seated under an umbrella across from the house minutes before he and Bullhorn Betty berated the laundries with dueling bullhorns. And my points, if you've watched anything I've said, laying down the foundation of live streamed content, reacting to what they do, giving a historical, giving a true, giving an accurate, giving a real breakdown of what they're doing, and giving the moral or ethical or whatever consequences from what these people are doing, and why it's so backwards and why it's so wrong, why it's so hypocritical for these people to go and do what they do. It's like taking somebody who goes around, you know, I'll use the same example I used before. They have a problem punching people in the face in public every time they go into public. And what they do is they hear about somebody that got in a fight and they go to their homes and bullhorn them. Those people, the worst people, the most evil people, the most creepy people, the most stalkery people, the most I'm holding up what I claim to be my girlfriend's panties here to embarrass her, people that are out there. And they think, you know what, I've been coming to realizations. I think that the guilt that these people have felt in the past when they had actual feelings in the beginning of doing this, and somehow, in my opinion, they have taken that guilt and rerouted it in their heads to where they are driven to do the things that they do because they have reconnected the mental wires. Instead of feeling a guilt for something they do wrong, they feel a relief by them pretending to do something positive through the things they do to these people. So what I'm saying in a more articulate way is that because you may feel bad about choking someone out, you're going to go to a murderer and pull out a bullhorn and scream your ass off. The problems that I've always looked at with these people is that they are constantly taking rights away, and they're constantly annoying and upsetting or even causing families near the homes that they're going to relocate due to their behavior. And this happens to innocent people. And the irony is the majority of the time that they go to protest, they can't protest the person that's been picked up because they're in jail, or because they are in hiding, or because they're not available. They're not staying at their home because they're accused of murder or something. So they have to find a family member. They have to dig into the drama around that person's life. They've got to dig into rumors or claims or small things that have happened in the past, and then link it to something they can claim is happening now, or they can imagine something's happening now, or they can come up with an excuse that something's happening now so that they can go to that family member's house, pull out a bullhorn, and annoy everybody in a 10-mile radius. And the point is, though, you realize that it's pretty not only hypocritical, but dangerous for people that have tendencies like Betty, JLR, and these others have, Molly and them. The tendencies that these people constantly publicly broadcast. That's one consequence of live streaming and being rewarded from live streaming. If you're not going to do the work of actually putting together presentations for your audience, which takes massive amounts of thinking, studying, writing, broadcasting, and performance. If you're not going to put time and effort into learning how to do that and generating new content, when you do that, what are you supposed to do while you're live to be able to get the attention, to be able to get the money in the super chats? Again, you've got to use the clickbait that comes from the tragedy of the story. Sorry, I have to pause for the YouTube algorithm, make sure I don't say murmur or something, right? So you take the clickbait, or you take the virality of a certain tragedy that it has at a base nature of us. Then you also take accusations and drama. It's almost like reality television in the way that I just described, by digging into past, by looking into records, by actually taking. Then again, another draw for people to watch these people do this is they know that some of these people, if not all of them, have a tendency to get into fights or to threaten others or to stalk and dox and cyber stalk or do these types of things. And of course, people have that curiosity that what if Betty's going to choke somebody out when she's down protesting? I'm going to watch. I want to catch it live. I want to record it. And it brings people on a layered system. But each of these layers, if you actually think for a minute and you peel back those layers, and you peel back the viral layer stacked on viral layer. I'll give you some, I'll name them, I'll help you. The first viral layer, that it's a tragedy. The next viral layer, the fact that you're physically there, and the fact that people are confused at why you're yelling at a cousin or an aunt or a grandma. The viral layer that you have a tendency of choking people out. The viral layer and viral layers that you peel down. If you logically think about these layers one by one, you very quickly realize all of them are predicated upon extremely evil and disgusting behavior that's been manipulated and perverted, that's been curbed, that's been shifted and changed and molded so that the people watching may make an assumption that what you're doing is getting justice. It preys off of the most basic parts of propaganda, how it works, how propaganda works on the human mind. They prey on those most basic tenets, of propaganda. And propaganda is where I may be chopping down a tree right in front of you while telling you that I'm saving the trees, I'm saving the squirrels, saving the environment. How about the propaganda that you need to stop running your wood fire stove while I'm flying in a jet everywhere I go, putting out 1,650 million times more in one flight than you put out in an entire year with your wood stove. Propaganda will seek to find a way to make the most flimsy argument in front of you that your mind jumps to initially, right in the front, so that you're distracted from the actual truth of the hypocrisy, the lie, the scam, or whatever it is that you don't want people realizing that you're doing. So when someone comes in and they bust your scam by peeling the propaganda layer down and showing the actual truth of the hypocrisy, showing the truth of the stalking, showing the truth of the cyber stalking, showing the truth of you yelling at a grandma, yelling at another person while they're grieving, going to people's homes, invading their privacy, doxing and stalking, going to a hotel of a woman who had to locate 1,000 miles away from where she lived after losing a small girl so that you can try to broadcast private details of her life, like her license plate number, her name, her location, and then berate her when she opens the door and make that a spectacle for the reality television starved audience that might click on what you're doing. It's all predicated on evil. I know Gabby's side of the family really well, he insisted, offering no details, which is just a complete lie. It's just a complete lie. Oh my God, I feel the family's pain, adding that the temporary discomfort of the circus he has joined in on, even with the neighbors phoning police for relief, can bring awareness. Definitely something good comes out of this. And that's what every evil person will tell you while they're committing evil and trying to dress it up to appear as if they're doing good, because they need you to commit that evil with them. They need you to either, if you're not going to commit it with them, at least pay for them to do it. And you definitely have to hate the people that will come out and show you the truth and show you the facts about what these people are doing. All part of the propaganda. All part of the system.
From on or about March 30th, 2020.
And here we have this. So while you're trying to say that it's some form of defamation that my content, watching, reading the mainstream media articles of what you did to Buster Murdaugh and Buster Murdaugh's wife and others, and me giving an opinion about how you hate women due to the fact that you're willing to berate them over their underwear and try to shame them with their bodily fluids and functions. This is something that's happened in between him stalking and contacting members of my family. This is that thing I was talking about. This is him showing Summer Wells license plate to dox her to his audience and make sure that they know, hey guys, look up who this belongs to so that you know I'm actually stalking and harassing this person who I claim to be doing it to. Somewhere in Arkansas, after moving out of state to get away from the tragedy pimps exploiting the disappearance of a child, you got to ask yourself what motivates a person to even want to do this to someone. This is exactly what he's accused of doing to Buster Murdaugh's wife. What I said was sniffing the car seat. This is sniffing someone's car seat. This is you being obsessed and drawn to a person's vehicle just because the clout that this person contains due to the tragedy that either they caused, as they're accused of by the internet, or they didn't cause, as the police have stated that both the mother and father were cleared in their investigation. Whatever opinion you hold, you're allowed to hold, and that's fine. But you can't go and let yourself get obsessed with these people to the point that you draw yourself filming to their car seat so that you can get a little bit of a whiff of what that driver's seat might smell like, right? So you go up and you knock really loud. It doesn't matter what these people are doing. Doesn't matter what they got going on. Do they work nights and sleep during the day? Who cares? I need to make some money on a YouTube video, right? I need to take the clout. I need to take the clicks. I need to take the virality that comes from your name due to that little girl being gone. And I need to exploit that by coming here and doing the sniff round around your car and then pounding on your door. Oh, I'm sorry. Is me describing factually what's going on here some form of defamation? Is it? Oh, I could have sworn that the reason why we sign up for the military and go to war and do everything we do is because we have free speech. Free speech doesn't mean that I can defame somebody. That's why I don't defame. This is why, unlike people that lie on me on Twitter, unlike people that lie on me on YouTube, unlike some people that will claim to have been my friend who lie on me constantly right now, as things happen, unlike them, I show sources. I say things factually, and I draw my opinion, obviously, okay?
Hey, where's Summer?
Hey, where's Summer? The little girl is named Summer. Now, let's go ahead and play a game. Let's play How Evil is What Just Happened. Okay? Let's play How Evil is What Just Happened. Man, after seeing this, that Unirock has to be lying about this person reaching out and doing the things that Uni says happened to him since the very beginning of all this. And his family and people that he barely knows or barely met a few times, this behavior in no way actually verifies the things that Uni has said throughout this whole mess, right? Because it's almost like when you go into a lawsuit with someone, you want to make sure that you are taking steps to be careful not to do anything wrong, to make any mistakes. So one way to do that is to completely avoid the topic, and that's what most lawyers will advise you to do, at least for a time, right? So you'd think that people out there would be smart enough to realize you take what the person is doing at the time and you take what the victims of his behavior are saying happened. And if you have no recording of what happened, you then can look at what they're doing to others. Well, let's just do it this way. Let's say I'm accused of murder, right? And you look at my record. I've never murdered anybody. I live stream constantly, but hey, I haven't been live streaming for a few weeks. Maybe I murdered somebody while I was gone, right? Who knows? But let's go back to when I streamed every day for 2 years, and then you accuse me of it. And you look at my record and you find out that I've murdered 67 people. And yeah, I might think I can say you murdered somebody else. But maybe you look at my record, I've never murdered anybody, and most of my behavior has been recorded, live streamed every day outside of me sleeping. Well, gee willikers, Batman, I'm going to need some facts before I move forward there. But don't tell me, though, that someone, myself, coming out and stating the facts about what he's doing to my family and myself, while this is not even the only example of what happened since he's done all of this. This is evidence. This is proof. This is truth. This is actually him doing the doxing, the stalking, the following, the harassing, the seeking that I've claimed he's done to members of my family, which he has, and myself, which he has, and my wife, who wasn't my wife at the time but is now, which he has, and children in the family, which he has. But let's play that game really quick so we can get back to the video. Reaction. Again, this is me reacting to Menace to sobriety. I have shared the link to the video on my community tab. I would appreciate that anybody who supports me in any way will go to Menace's video, watch it, share it, and support it too. Also, if you like what I do, you know how to support me. It's pinned at the top of the comments, and there's more ways in the About section. In fact, go to, if you downloaded the book that I was sharing, this live stream right now is sponsored by the actual novel that's been released on Amazon. You can go to that same link in the description, but I will have a new link probably in the next day or two. It's already #1 in one of the categories that it came out in, and it's a great book. So check it out. All the ways to support my channel, of course, are in the About section or pinned to the top of the comments section. And right now, yeah, it's definitely needed, but it's optional. And all it does is support the show. So, how are we going to play this game? So we've got, let's say, we'll do this. We'll do this. Let's do 2 lines. Here we go. So what we're going to do is this line right here going up is evil. How evil the action is, right? And we'll say that this line right here is how stocky this is. Okay, so you got how evil it is and how stocky it is. So how this game works is, if it's not evil or stocky at all, it would just be a dot right here. But let's say it's just a little bit evil. So it'll go up the evil way, and it's only a little bit stocky. So it'll go up that way. So a little bit evil and a little bit stocky. We'd say the dot would go land right there. Let's say it's very stocky, but it's not that evil. Okay, fine. It would maybe land over here. Very stocky, not that evil. So let's go through the reasons why, and then we'll draw it on the graph. So what we know about this case, if you look it up right now and take the police investigation, the statements from the police, into account for what actually has happened here. One thing I've read, and if you want to link me or notify me in the live chat of a newer report that's come out to say something different about this case, I encourage you to. I've got my chat right here. Speaking of which, hello, Wicked. Hello, Jammy. Hello, Marty. Hey, 28. Hello, Carmella. Everybody. Kelly Bath. Our top, of course. All my peeps. Now, if we we got to ask ourselves a few things to determine whether this is good. Could this be good? Is it good to do this? Well, let's ask ourselves, what could it accomplish? What is actually being accomplished here? First, you have to literally either stalk or cyber stalk, which in nowadays terms, because of the prevalence of the internet, all of those behaviors could just be relegated to stalking. Back in the day, you had to go and find a computer and sit down at a physical computer location and be able to look up anything you wanted to look up on a PC. So cyber stalking was a term that would differentiate itself from actual stalking. What someone would do is would locate a person on the internet, try to seek the person and follow the person. Now, of course, you'll say, but that's what you do on social media. Yeah, if you get blocked or if they ban you and you continue to seek them, or that would be one way to allege being cyber stalked, correct? No, I'm not saying they can't talk about you and post about the public things you do. That's not anything. But if they seek you and seek you and seek you, of course, it would lead to that. But we'll just go ahead and wrap it all up into one pretty bow and not differentiate cyber stalking for the purpose of this discussion. We'll just say stalking either way. Now, is it not stalking? Well, how do you find out the location? You would have to assume that the person would reach out to any private individual that would be around them, find somebody from a family or somebody that's very, very, very close to them that would have knowledge, and maybe ask them to give you the location. Now, the thing is, they are actively for a long time avoiding people finding out where they are. It's why they are 1,000 miles away from their home plus, and it's why they have moved states over to get away from people that pursue them like this. Because it's not just him, it's other tragedy pimps have gone out there since this story broke. As you know, if you've watched us cover it or any other channel cover what happened, this is a prime target for people who want to get an audience that hates these people to see them inconvenienced. But inconveniencing is not that bad, so they actually want to see them very inconvenienced. They wouldn't. There are some people and there are some audiences out there that wouldn't mind see these people going to prison for the rest of their lives or worse. So the point is, though, with the fact that the police have said that the mother and father were cleared in the investigation, does that mean they're innocent? It doesn't mean that they're innocent, and it doesn't mean that they're guilty. And of course, in the United States, you are innocent until proven guilty. People are allowed to hold opinions about facts around certain situations, of course, especially if they make the mistake of going out and admitting they did it. That hasn't happened here, but we've had fraudraisers where people have live streamed themselves emptying bank accounts where the fundraiser money is into private bank accounts, thus broadcasting themselves stealing money. So then you can say that they stole the money in that situation. Though here, without them admitting it, without some recording or someone else alleging something on the record, then you wouldn't be able to really go there if the cops had cleared them. So what do you gain from doing this to them when they're at their home? Let's just say when they're at their home. Let's say back when this thing was kicking off, right? Why go do this to them? Well, of course, people did it for clicks and views, though it threw a cog in the ability to be able to get views out of these people once they moved. So finding their location, going through people that are very close to them, and then getting details and getting details. Maybe you offer money to someone who is a family member of them. That's the only thing I can think of, because they're not going to want to talk to you. Now, I mean, unless you disguised yourself as another family member and somehow got them to erroneously add you to their friends list, so they told you some things in DMs on an account that they thought was being run by Grandma Lewis or something. It turns out the Grandma Lewis's main account, of course, didn't message you, and it ended up being some random stranger who deleted the account after you told them where they were or something. I have no clue, but the point is, you don't get the information from basic means. These people are actively hiding themselves, okay? They are actively avoiding these people. What they claim, and you have to factor their claim in, even if you don't believe them. You see what reporters and neutral individuals have to do when covering stories. They have to put aside their bias and be able to actually look at facts. So these people saying, we didn't do it, the police have cleared us, we want to be left alone, we are mourning still to this day, that's their side. I'm not asking you to trust them. I'm not asking you to like them. That is their side. So anybody that would be going to them, at least what they would do is maybe maintain their privacy, make sure you don't show the location, make sure you don't show their car, make sure you don't show their license plate unless you want people to say that you're a creeper, unless you want people to state the truth that it's doxing their location, which it did, right? Definitely doxed their vehicle. So when asking yourself if this is evil or not, What would someone do if they were a reporter or an investigator or anything this person claims to be, and they went up to discuss or interview or talk to this person? First, they would introduce themselves. They would apologize for having to disturb them. They would tell them why they're there and get them to consent to talking to them. Because, of course, that's a massive, massive thing that you have to have in order to do what he's claiming he's done. Well, just like him claiming to have sent a C&D to me, but then a day later filing a lawsuit without giving me enough time to respond to the C&D while lying on Twitter about what happened, that proving that he really didn't care about me C&Ding at all, and it was an invalid C&D like I'd said from the beginning. In the same aspect, him claiming that he did this for an interview is complete bullshit. Now, what other reason could you be doing this for anything good? It's off the table. You didn't act like a reporter, maintain privacy, or do anything straight here. So no, I'm not going to lie for this guy and say that he did things correctly to interview them. So we can't take any of the good reasons to do this at all and put them on the list. We can just leave that out. The motivation here is definitely on that other side of good. So bad. And if it's extremely bad, then it would go to the point of evil. So then we've explained why this has to be some very stalky, because how in the world, when nobody else knows where they are, you found out and went there? You didn't even try to call them. You didn't even try to notify them that you were coming. You didn't try to set up an interview, of course, because you knew if you did, they would move. The first thing they would do if they found out that any reporter or anyone that was looking for them had found them is would move to a new hotel. Again, because they are in hiding. It doesn't cost anything for them to pay this hotel $70 or to go pay another hotel $70. They could even shift rooms in this hotel, and if he came knocking, he wouldn't find them. So, of course, again, the fact that you're not caring about their consent, you don't care about giving them a choice, that's pretty bad. How is it moved into evil? Well, it's easy. What do you say to this person when they open the door? You don't say anything nice. You don't say anything professional. You throw the fact that their daughter is gone in their face.
Hey, where's Summer?
So let's ask ourselves, is that evil? Throwing that in their face, is that evil or is it not? Is it good? Is it awesome? Is it proper? Well, here's how you kind of break that down. See, if you had facts that she was involved with it, then, or that she knew that the husband did it, if you had these types of things, you could say to yourself, yeah, if they did it, then I am good to do this to these people that got away with it. But the point is, if there was anything like that, the cops would still be listing them as suspects. It's really hard to be able to look at the cops saying that these people aren't suspects anymore, and then to be able to gauge that with someone seeking them out. But let's just leave that off the table. Let's say you're just ignoring anything that the cops said because you believe that the cops are incompetent. The point is, you should have some kind of sympathy for the fact that the mother or the father could have done it and the other may not know, right? For everything that anyone knows about this case, the truth is they always say the same thing. It could have been the mom and it could have been the dad. The dad could have known what the mom did. The mom could have known what the dad did. They both could have this or that. Well, the dad was at work. Yeah, but he could have left. Well, the mom was with the grandma. Yeah, but the grandma could be lying. Okay, fine. The point is, since there are things that cast that form of doubt here, you should be considering the overwhelming point that they would be arrested, they would be in trouble, they would be listed as suspects. There would be something there that would be leading you to be able to treat them in this way. All you're doing is rolling the dice. You're saying, I believe she did it, so it's proper for me to throw the daughter in her face, right? And I just don't think so. I think you need to know before you do that. Even if there's a 1% chance that she wasn't involved or didn't do it, which the police admit there's more than a 1% chance, because they would take her in if it was a 1% chance. Even if there was a 1% chance that the conditions were set up in a way to where it looks like she was involved or it looks like she did it, and it just really looks that way, but of course there was some random coincidence and she didn't do it. The amount of evil, if this woman is innocent, or let's say that the husband is in there too, if let's say that there's other people in there with her that they're also experiencing this, and you have thrown that in their face and they didn't do it, is one of the most purely evil things you can do. So here's the question. He doesn't know. I don't know. You don't know what happened. We don't. So the fact that you don't have confirmation, but you're willing to take an innocent mother or other people that might be there and throw that in her face is extremely evil. It's extremely evil. I don't even know what the percentages is. From what I've looked at in the story, I'm going to give you my opinion where I'm at right now, admitting that I'm not deep into this story, but I know the details. So due to this, a few of the things that are listed in this story, I would say it's a 50-50 shot that the mom was involved, in my opinion. It's like flipping a coin, 50-50 shot. And the only thing that makes me give the dad a little bit of, in fact, I'll go to the chat. I'll go to the chat. Let me get the chat here before I, to see if any of you want to weigh in. Tell me what percentage you are, if you want to, you don't have to, with this case on the mom or the dad, okay? But with the mom, I think it's 50-50. With the dad, I think it's less, because he has a bunch of people when this all happened that say he was at a job site working. So that tells me that, yeah, he could be maybe know what the mom did. But then again, we can't go there. We can't go that far without having proof. That's going really far out. When it comes to the mom, I'm 50-50. Is any of you disagree? Let me know. And before I tell you where I'm at, I'll check the chat here. Oh, he teaches you how to Dougie. Let's see here. Who's not married? You're saying Summer Wells wasn't and it was a boyfriend? Thank you. Thank you. I haven't looked at the case for months, so I appreciate it. We go to a community picnic in rural Montana all day. Party fireworks at 10. Food for days. Love my home. Happy birthday, America. Jamie, that sounds so fun. We got a couple things we're doing too, but I'm not going to talk about it on here, obviously. But yeah, so I'm so glad you're having fun. This was terribly insensitive behavior on his part. A few days after this, the Wells were visited by police who were told they were hiding children. Jesus H. Christ. And again, you could say to yourself, how? How were they visited by people? Like, is that because he doxed their location and it was someone else? Or is it because he had it either had to been him or someone who got the location from him doing this? And again, where is the criticism? I criticized all of this, right? These are the things that people need to open their eyes about. And I guess there's not that many, because the majority of people, they have. But the thing that a few people need to open their eyes about is the fact that when you say that it's not bad, it's not evil, it's not dangerous, it's not... I mean, this is very dangerous. There are people out there who are not mentally sound, and they want to hurt these two people because of what they think they did to the kid, right? Doxing the location of people that have had the internet accuse them of doing this to a child is extremely dangerous, because someone could go there and hurt them. And again, maybe that's what these people want. I mean, they have to know that doxing the location like this will not only cause that, but could cause other things like you're saying, wicked, to happen. So that's why in this situation, I'm going to say that it is maximum of both. It is hard to do real damage to people through the internet, through YouTube. It's hard to, because people get banned when they blatantly do messed up things. They'll get banned. They won't be allowed to make new accounts. They'll get hit every time they try after. What about people, though, who are out there trying to push the line? They want to push the line so that they can stay monetized, so that they can collect money from people, and so that they can get clicks, use the algorithm, use the YouTube search. They can accomplish what it is they're trying to do. But at the same time, they don't want to push the rules so far that they end up getting banned, getting arrested, or getting in trouble. So the fact that this behavior, this action, provably caused danger to this person and to anyone with her, and I guess, like I said earlier, correcting myself, they're not married. It was a girlfriend and a boyfriend. Though they may have other kids with them. Now, I think kids got taken away from them or something, so I don't know. Again, I'm remembering from a long time ago, and I could be mixing up stories. Let's just move on. Though this is very dangerous, this is very wrong, and this is hating, this is hateful, this is nasty, this is disgusting. It's targeting a woman, it's being hateful towards a woman, and it's nasty. You know she cried. You know she fell on her knees and cried. Right? You know she did. Some of you will say, well, good, because I think she did it. You know what? If she did it, then she deserves to cry forever. But what if she didn't? What if she didn't? Right? I know it might feel good to get some revenge on her for some imagined thing, right? Putting pieces together so that you can go in before the police arrest her and get to do things to her, right? But it still makes you an evil person. You're delighting in pain that you're causing. You're delighting in finding people that aren't wanting to be found and removing their privacy. Again, you have to respect people's rights even if you don't like them. And this is not respecting people's rights. This isn't respecting their right to privacy. It's not respecting their rights many other ways, but I won't go into it and keep boring you because this is going on for too long. This is just so disgusting. And again, I will make sure to remind you that anyone out there claiming that he didn't contact and cyber stalk and harass me and my family, they are straight lying. They are straight lying. Because this is what this guy is doing in between finding people that he might be able to, mess with that might have bumped into me sometime in my life and trying to message and mess with them. Before he did this and after.
Candace, where's Summer?
And then he stands outside of her door and yells it in. Stands outside of the door. And you know what I'll do? I'll take this clip after this stream. I'll take this clip right here because it does bother me a lot. And I'll go in and take everything that just happened to the mother, Candace. I'm going to put a big list of the facts about Candace and what, she did that day and things that people claim about her or don't like about her, right? And I'm going to put it on a big list. And I'll come back in a future stream, play that video, and show you the facts about Candace, and then the claims about Candace, and the timeline. Because I want to know that. And if I have to go through looking it up, I might as well put it into a vidya, right?
Plaintiff is a tragedy.
Plaintiff is a tragedy pimp. This is a video of him pimping the tragedy. It's just that simple. And here is this. Attempts to embarrass and degrade the woman that just left his house.
I had a female that was staying and living with me. And she left. And this morning, I went into my dresser to clean it out. And you will not believe what I found. You will not believe what I found inside my dresser. But if you look closely, these are a pair.
It's not defamatory to state a fact about someone that they publicly have posted over and over and over and over and over a period of many years to social media.
Of panties.
And he cuts that off, and then Elmo keeps running her lion mouth. Jonathan, are you sure that Unirock is the reason that your reputation is shit? So this is a tweet that he put out. Let's talk about William Summer, the husband of Stephanie Summer, who confronted me last night while I was searching for a missing. Oh, this is where he doxed a family and targeted a family because they came out and told him to get out of their neighborhood while he was protesting. So again, you gotta make sure people know that while you're protesting and while you're doing this, they are not allowed to come up and talk to you, tell you to leave, because it'll hurt your feelings. It'll upset you. And then you'll have to look them up. You'll have to post things about them on social media to your rabid followers, not that, even though you don't have that many of them. And you have to share details about these people because you stood outside of their house and you are disturbing their children, you're disturbing their family, you're disturbing their life. You don't care about other United States citizens. You don't care about other people. You don't care how your actions affect them. And it's not once, it's not twice, it's not 5, 10, or 20, or 30, or 40 times, and it's not minor. It's extreme. It is the most extreme behavior. You didn't just complain about what the guy did and share a picture of him standing out there on a public street, which would still be doxing him and still be posting him onto your platform without permission from him or anything like that, from a picture that you took of him in public. So I guess, you could get away with that. But what you did was look up the names, look up the information, and threw it out there, and it's disgusting. And this is why they'll call you a doxer and a stalker and all the things that factually you've done. And it's just crazy to me that someone who claims to be so for free speech is so affected by people and will go so far to try and get revenge. And you get revenge, though, not by confronting them and actually having an argument. You run when people get into arguments with you. And I've shown this many times. You actually only care to get your initial little recording or whatever it is. And then if someone bothers you, you use the internet. You go retreat to a safe space and you use the internet and you try to do whatever you can to make them nervous using the reputation that you have, using the things that you have done in the past to people that have experienced losing kids and family. And then not only that, what about the just character of someone that behaves like this? We haven't even gone into this yet. How in the world what kind of person are you that you are constantly targeting people that are in these positions, that are in these situations, constantly bringing innocent people that have nothing to do with this due to your behavior, your desire for your social media clout and your clicks or whatever it is that you're getting from this, and you bring them into it and you put them down and you step on them and you do these things to these people. It's just insane that saying that you deserve free speech to be able to go into a community of people and bullhorn, not just so that you can try to force the person in the house that you're targeting to hear you, but that you force all of the neighbors in the X amount of a radius to hear you when they either are in their home or they step outside or they're in their car. The point is, you think you have that free speech, but you're willing to file frivolous lawsuits and lie so that you can try to silence someone that gave you the respect of actually sourcing the things I'm saying about you. So you are not for free speech. Someone that's for free speech would never allow themselves to file frivolous lawsuits. But then again, I should go into how many frivolous lawsuits you filed, but we'll save that for another day. And then the fact that him and Betty know each other for reasons much deeper than just YouTube. They know each other for reasons much deeper than just the fact that they want to target people that are experiencing tragedies. And I could go on and on and on and on to how deep and connected over hateful ideology, over hateful everything about the group of people that we have been discussing since we picked up on the Letitia fraudraiser. The thing that binds these people is not just the hate that they have inside of them, but the hate that they share ideologically. They share the willingness for them to put it on others. They defend each other with the worst things you can possibly do to people, and then cry victim if someone reports on what they do. Reason he sued me is because he knows, after seeing what happened to Molly after I started to talk about her, that he has to take extreme measures to protect what he's doing. Because I know how to get YouTube to look at the correct thing that someone has done, even if they delete it, even if they get rid of it. I have a reputation on this platform, and all the people that hate me out there can say whatever they want and lie, because all of the shit that I'm talking about is on my channels. You can literally go watch live streams of me doing what I did when I talked about Molly for every story that I've covered that I bring up. You can watch all the live streams of us learning about the situation, forming the arguments on the situation, collecting the clips on the situation, putting the whole timeline together. Everything you saw me do from the start of the Letitia fraudraiser until the end of it, which, by the way, it ended before the community attacked me, like always. I dipped out before they came at me. Evidence on this channel, if you're willing to tell the truth. All the process I use, the things we do, from live streaming us going through things to making the commentary videos that we upload to UniRock 2 that will show the conclusion of all of those live streams and that thing. Those situations are proven. That is the reputation I have. It's not a brag. I'm not humble bragging because I don't get a lot of views for doing this. Oh, you're just sitting here bragging about it. No, I'm telling the truth about what I've done on this platform. That's all I'm doing. Don't take it as something good. I got way more views, way more success back when I was just doing YouTube commentary. And yeah, that's proven too. You want to act like the reason or something that I'm doing this is to make money or to get clicks or something. That is just not true. I'm doing it because not only do we have a great community, and I'm not talking about those channels that came together when we started to talk about the Letitia fraudraiser. I'm talking about my community, the thing that people act like I don't have or something just because they think in order for you to have it, that I have to have you guys all here right now in this one thing, right? It's just, it's crazy for them to think that after all these years of doing this, that I have a following of people that support what I do. It's insane for them to think that, even though that's what they are trying to pursue on the platform. That's what they're trying to gain, is what I've built and what others have built. Right? Just because I do something that's unpopular to what the majority of people that subscribe to me want to see me do now by my own decision, those people are still there. Those people they'll still be there and they will be there. So in the end, why are we doing this? Because these people destroy our platform. They not only destroy the platform by doing what they're doing in general. And what I mean by that is, as they do this more and more, they get the attention of YouTube. Now, the thing about it, when YouTube comes in, if they're going to change rules so that they can stop people from doing what Molly and JLR and Betty and any other tragedy pimp does, if YouTube changes rules in order to stop them, it's going to factually destroy thousands and thousands and thousands of innocent channels. I have documented this happening so many times. It would be almost just incredibly stupid for someone to say that that is not true. it is true that YouTube comes in, they make a sweeping rule change, and it affects a type of content. Because there are people that will actually get permission before talking to somebody in person. They will go to them without recording their license plate, without sharing private information about them, without doing the things that these people do to torture and to get revenge on and to attack the people that they cover. Those people then will report things factually with having a source and with giving an opinion to the source that they're reporting on. And those channels are more numerous than these tragedy pimps and the small community of wannabe tragedy pimps like nonsense. The point is, when YouTube comes in to make those sweeping changes to stop what people like Molly, Betty, JLR are doing, they must make rules that will even take people that do the right thing and knock them out. This happened with conspiracy theories. This happened with, the commentary with like Leafy and others, with the general kind of commentary that iDubbbz and Leafy did. It's gone. It's done and it's gone now. That's why you notice iDubbbz gets criticized for having to drastically change so much. Leafy's been permanently banned. It's why you notice Keemstar and others have gone on to do other things. YouTube makes rule changes due to a channel's bad behavior or several channels' bad behavior, and it kills entire communities. And the people that suffer are not the ones that they're not only the ones that deserve it, it's also those smaller creators. But that's the general description of what people like this do to our YouTube, the internet, and our ability to speak online in general. The changes that had to be made because of the conspiracy theories on YouTube, when it was changed, it knocked down a massive percentage of YouTube, because you could basically go to two sides of YouTube back in the day, and this is not BS. You could go to normal YouTube, and then you could go to conspiracy theory YouTube, and you'd be able to search for both sides of YouTube, and they both would come back the exact same way. The same rules applied to both communities. YouTube made the sweeping changes, and then the conspiracy side of YouTube is gone, because you can't search for those videos. They did ban a lot of channels, but they also made it to where channels that even documented conspiracies in a documentary fashion, debunking them, had their channels completely taken out of the algorithm due to the keywords. So that's my point that I'm making there, and that's the general thing that they are doing wrong. Now, the more specific thing that they are doing wrong is that any criticism channel that comes out, they will use the tactics you've seen them use against me, and they will use that against smaller creators who haven't had to deal with this in the past. I've been dealing with this since I started on this platform. I know how to deal with it. I know how to work it. They're not going to stop me when they come at me in this way. But if you could imagine a channel with 500 subs, 1,000 subs, 5,000 subs, or a channel that's growing and growing and that are calling these people out and getting attention for it, those channels get completely destroyed when a newer creator is targeted in the way that these people target to defend their grift. So I could go on with many, 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 many more bad things, reasons that them being here is destructive, it's bad, and it goes against free speech. How about maybe someone out there decides that they just want to speak, like they don't know about this whole thing, and they end up finding the topic of tragedy pimping, and they're like, damn, I'm going to do a video on this. Next thing you know, they're getting doxxed, they're getting harassed, their family members being contacted. Let's say they got a job. These people will get them to lose their job. They've done this in the past. They admit it and laugh about it and celebrate it, and you know it because you've seen the clips. I could go on and on and on and on, but I do have to go, so let's keep moving forward. This is racist. So is that defamatory? Is it defamatory for me to say someone wearing a Make That Great Again that you see here on the screen? Is it defamatory for me to say that this is racist? Because I don't think it is. The conspiracy purge legit took about a third of YouTube as a whole. The search has been broken ever since. Dead, exactly. You can't use the search to find the channels you want to find. Can't. You won't find new channels if they talk about certain topics. It's just a fact. People have had to adapt. People have had to use other methods for people to find their videos. And if you don't, then you don't get clicks. Janet, hey, pirate. I love pirates. Welcome. And beautiful puppy. My goodness. They represent darkness and they don't want any light to shine, says Grace. Exactly. And you have a beautiful puppy on there too, Grace. Yes, exactly. Absolutely. And in the end, who is out there actually trying to factually, respectfully, responsibly take the history, the real, when I say history, I mean the real things that they are doing and that they have done, to talk about those things or what they actually did, and then give an opinion and then tell you what I think. I'm allowed, by the way, to also make jokes. You see, this is the thing. He says that because I stated that he hates women, treating women the way he treats women, that I defamed him. He just said it. No examples, no reasoning, no nothing. He just says it. He says that I affected his ability to make money or something like that, right? But how in the world did what? Really? Wow. So man, you attribute a lot of power to me. And the truth is, all I've ever done to this guy is report what he's done, make jokes that are not inappropriate. They're not wrong. If he wants to hold up women's panties that he just took off of his ass in front of everybody in an attempt to try to shame a woman, and I want to make jokes about it, why are you crying? Why are you crying about it? I thought you could take it. Isn't that why you post things publicly? I thought you could take the commentary. I thought you could take the act. Weren't you prepared when you held up those panties to take the criticism? Because it's wrong to do that to her. I will not take back what I said. I will say it the next time someone does it. And I hope that all the women in the audience will appreciate that. It's wrong. It's embarrassing. It's disgusting. It's hateful. It's nasty. So what are you trying to say, JLR? That I am not allowed to feel that way? You knew that people felt that way when you did it. It's why you did it in the first place. That's what shaming someone means. So when I came out and said that the people out there lying for him, saying he didn't dox me or my family from the start, making all these other tiny little arguments and then running on him for hours on nonsensical things, lying about what happens in my Discord server and shit like that. When I say that what they're doing is helping JLR, how is that offensive to them? They are. Literally. You're lying and your lies benefit him. You won't tell the truth. You don't have any evidence. You won't tell the truth. You have no proof, and you're making it into a spectacle. You are tragedy pimping it. And you know what the thing is, man? It's crazy because the act that these people put on for a pretty long period of time was that they don't like that kind of drama. They think it's wrong. Now, they don't mind somebody actually reporting what's going on, making jokes and doing those things, because that's opinion. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to, though, go in and just try to exploit and create and just play this game. You're not supposed to mix those things. If you have a major problem, why are you bringing a million minor problems into that major problem if your major problem is actually factual? Well, you need the minor problems to keep the drama going because you were lying about the major problem, obviously. And that's why I disconnected myself from people that were doing that. In the end, what we had was a community of channels that seeked to try and stop a set group of tragedy pimps that were doxing, harassing, and attacking YouTubers and viewers. They were going out and telling lies so that people like you, all of you, if you're a viewer, they were doing it so that you would give them money. They would lie to you about a tragedy. They would lie to you about something that was happening on a popular incident so that you would feel bad and try to give money to help the person that was the victim. But they were lying to make that person a victim. They were changing who the real victim was so that they could then monetize the fake victim status that they had created, so that they could target all of you. And all of these channels came together because they wanted to stop that, because it is wrong. It's not just minorly wrong, it's massively wrong. It's stealing your money. It's fraudulent. They're lying to you to get your money. They are so brazen that they would go live and take your money out of the account and run off with it, and then sit there and tell you they did nothing wrong and that they did everything right and yada, yada, yada. And then when we come together as a community and we actually get results in this whole thing, right? You notice that it becomes a big drama thing. Because a bunch of these people will sit there and say, we don't do that kind of drama, man. We're just talking and giving an opinion. But then if you listen to what they're saying, it's just hours and hours and hours and hours of petty, nonsensical drama predicated on lies. Right? Now, factually speaking, I'm asking you something. What is the purpose of it? What was the purpose? What was the point? Was the point to expose people that were tragedy pimping? What we thought it was. So what was the point of all that other garbage that happened in the last few months? It was a very well played game from the tragedy pimps. They know just as well as I know how YouTube communities operate. They know more than us. They know more than most. I'd say they know more than anybody how you take a trend and lie and manipulate that trend so you make money and you make something out of no content or talent whatsoever, and you fool people into thinking that. Then they know about people that'll jump on that trend, and they know how to use people that are jumping on that trend, because they themselves were people constantly jumping on any trend they could to try and get themselves solidified in some way on YouTube and make money from it. They are experts in seeing people smaller than them do the same thing. Molly knew what nonsense was doing from the beginning and warned everybody. And it was insane that she did. And it's because Molly is the queen. She had to manipulate trends, lie about famous people and trends for years to get where she got to. And because she was using those types of processes to profit and prosper, she ended up taking one of those processes too far because she got too used to doing one of those things. She got too comfortable being invulnerable in her queenship of tragedy pimping. And she could look into the community that we were around and see which creators around us were just trying to monetize a trend and play a role. And what they did as a group, and this is Betty and JLR and just as the tragedy pimps, they knew what I knew, that people that were trying to jump on trends to make money off those trends were all going to strike right at that time. They timed their shit so that they could enact their plan right when the drama started. And they did do everything in their power to keep the drama going. They did. And it worked. And it's weird because there were a lot of people that pretended that they were very strong-willed and fell right into the trap of all of this. They fell right into the drama. You know, people that would sit and criticize people for gatekeeping, people for, you know, joining up and trying to attack others, people that would criticize that kind of thing because they know that's what Molly and them had to do to get where they were at. That's what people like the fish, the silver fish, the lobster had to do to get where he was before he fell. They were against those things that led to that shit. And those people who thought they were strong-willed against it fell right into it and became that themselves. You know? It's a testament to just how far these people are willing to go to protect what they do. Because if you're doing it the right way and you're doing the right thing on YouTube, You don't have to sit and do these kind of things to protect what you do. You don't have to play this game. And isn't it crazy that it's not just Betty who outwardly brags about the hate they have inside them? Not just Betty. Come here. Come on. He is twice the size he was last time I showed you him. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here. Watch out, watch out, watch out. He is twice the size that he was. He is turning into a real monster, this guy. Hey, Bubba. Sorry, the pup has to go out. Had to employ a kid to take the pup out. Okay, so let's see here. We got this, and we're gonna just bang through the end of this. So please, even though you're gonna have to either skip Elmo or you're gonna have to listen to her try to suck up to JLR, you're gonna have to go watch this because it's a good one. But the main thing in this, where are we at? 7:55 is all those people who lied on me saying that I was running or something like that. Where are their correction? Where's their correction? Where is it? And this is him not serving me. They were going around telling people that I was served and that I didn't respond. This was being said out there in Discord servers. They were sitting around talking about, these are people who claim to be our friends, were sitting around talking about how I hadn't answered after I had answered. No, they're not that much. They're not that smart, Tracy. You're right. I am giving some of them too much credit. I completely agree with you. I do. That's something that is a weakness of mine. It is. I agree. So we got Jonathan Lee Rich's phishing. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. I'm not going to define it right now. I'll do it in my next stream. Spamming, tricking, monetizing data. Banks, fake identification, impersonating victims, stealing money, 1.4 million, 2,000 victims, ringleader, prison for 10 years, parents, probation. I don't know what that means. Sentenced to 125 months, fraud and conspiracy, medium security prison, South Carolina, filed a motion, 23 new PlayStation video games, 1 Super Bowl football, 60 new shirts with tags, 1 plunger, 1 subwoofer, 1 box of life vest, FBI, Goodwill Industries.
He's commentating on Menace to sobriety.
What the hell is this?
I'm Nick.
Hi, Nick. I'm Jonathan. How are you?
I'm not really good right now.
Why?
Because you're threatening people. People are threatening my neighbor.
You are threatening people, and your people are threatening my neighbors. These aren't people that are... These are the innocent people that have nothing to do with any of this. Any person who is trying to hold other people somewhat accountable would never themselves allow themselves to do these things unless they're faking holding the other people accountable. Let me say this again for you because it's a huge point I think a lot of people are missing. Anyone who isn't just commentating and giving an opinion and doing those things, anyone that is out there claiming they're getting justice and doing all these things and they're holding people accountable, who are causing innocent people to be victims of themselves repeatedly over and over and over and over. And then taking the people that are willing to stand up against them to defend their own homes, their own community, their own family. And then those people are constantly attacked and descended upon. Those people would take steps to do it the right way. This is why they can't get hired to do it the right way. This is a consequence of not going to college and learning not only the proper processes, but proper ethics in that field. Let alone the ethics, the most general ethics. What it means. What does it mean when you're constantly harming other people, hurting other people, causing other people distress, causing other people to have to, even if they have to listen to you bullhorn someone in their private home, you are affecting them negatively. You are victimizing them. You are invading their privacy. Reporters have to adhere to privacy more than anything else for the people that they cover. They have to adhere to the ethics of reporting. They have to adhere to strict standards. This is why people on YouTube that claim to be reporters a lot of times aren't.
Hey, because of your stupid shit on the phone.
Who's your neighbor?
So just leave it alone. Don't make accusations. Stop making statements that aren't true.
He just accused a person, an innocent person, of a lot of things on Twitter right before that person was flooded with attacks and then had to come outside and confront him for what he did. And by the way, he's not the press. You're not the press just because you put on a shirt. You're not the press. You're not media. You're not the news. You're not a reporter, because reporters must follow the ethics of reporting. It is it's taking you're taking 2 + 2 = 4, and you're taking the 2 out of it, and it's saying 2 + 4 = 4, and you're claiming that it still equals 4. You're taking one of the most major parts of the equation out of the equation.
I'm here right now.
Okay.
Because her husband's coming down, who just heard you put it on Twitter.
Okay.
That you accused.
Now, do you hear him apologizing, or I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to accuse an innocent person? I didn't mean to do any of that. I'm out here doing could you imagine how a normal reporter would act in this situation already? You already know how he's going to act because we covered this.
Accused the neighbor of murder.
I never accused anyone of murder.
It's on Twitter. We saw it. I showed it on my stream.
Excuse me. All right, what am I
posted
here on
ignorant people?
What do you
The press.
Okay, so let's get to the end of this. I gotta go. I've been going on too long. I tried to do an hour. I did 2. I apologize. Here we go. Press shirts cost about $10 on Amazon, and he can't. You know what? He's so incompetent. He can't even order the right size. Menace says, in my opinion, everything JLR mentions here has already been proven factual by himself. Exactly. And me reporting, discussing, and giving an opinion on things that are factually happening is not defamation. I don't hear any of these people that don't like me who report on this, him serving me this lawsuit. I don't see any of them at all telling the truth about this because they don't like me. They have to say negative things about me. It's impossible to them because to them, they're so stupid. They think that if you go out and record yourself doing something and I play it and I factually respond to what's going on, if I don't like what you're doing and I make fun of you a little bit and joke around, and if I hurt your feelings by joking, and then if I'm talking about how it's bad what you're doing and shit like that, right? They think that that's defamation. Seriously, that's how thin-skinned these people are. And it's how thin-skinned the people out there that are defending them are. It's also how thin-skinned the people that are trying to cause drama while this is going on and then try to manipulate that drama into content while holding up their hands and saying, I'm doing it on someone else's channel, so I'm not benefiting from it. I'm not doing it, right? These people are all so thin-skinned that they just think that. So let's say that because I reported on what they're doing, now I caused them to suffer something with their business. I did. It wasn't the fact that they uploaded the video of them doing it. It's not the fact that they did these things, right? It's the fact that I decided to talk about it that makes it defamation. It's the same thing that EKC tried to cry about me when I debunked and exposed 2 fraudraisers from her internet boss, who she was relying on to get her subs and get her clicks and get her views. And they blame me. They don't blame the lies they told that we talked about. They don't blame the stuff that they uploaded that we made fun of. To them, if it hurts their feelings, which anything that's not positive you say about them hurts their feelings. Same with JLR, same with Betty, same with Molly, same with all these little weasels. But if they start getting less views after they upload the video, after I report on it, it's not their fault that they did anything that they did. It's my fault, right? Not sure where the defamation lies in this lawsuit. Then again, where is the proof in the suit of how I affected the business due to what I said? That has to be proven too. And that's why I've been telling you this whole time, the suit itself is frivolous. It's missing a major portion that proves how I affected, and did something to damage something. There's nothing in there that states it or proves it. It's almost like the people that filed that shit didn't know what they were fucking doing, and they just did it for a different reason. They might have just did it to try and cost me some money hiring an attorney and to cause a little bit of drama and stuff. And then they were crossing their fingers that there were some people dirty enough out there to take advantage of what they did and cause drama further with it. And because they knew who was in the community, they knew it would happen. These people played right into JLR and Betty's and Molly's hands. And that's a fact. They'll never admit it because they're just as bad as JLR and Molly. When it comes to YouTube, they're just as bad. Maybe because if JLR and Molly were actually held accountable for filing a frivolous lawsuit like we did when they doxed people, if they were held accountable for doxing and attacking my family instead of people trying to manipulate the drama for their gain like Queen and others did, then they might not have went as far as they went. You notice that right when Molly would dox somebody, when we would all talk about it, I mean, everybody would start talking about how messed up it was. Everybody would put out a video. Molly just doxed another person. Everybody in the community would be like, what the hell? Because she would do it live. She would stop for a while afterwards. She would get scared. It would make her nervous. She would actually stop, and then she'd have to build up her confidence. She'd have to build up her confidence before she doxed somebody else again. And of course that wasn't right in the beginning, because I know in the beginning she doxed 5 people every day for a week. But anyway, I'm talking about after that, when she realized that every time she doxed somebody, it was causing people to stop watching her show. Because they noticed that we weren't lying on Molly. We were just talking about what she did and how messed up it is. And we would end our stream. So her audience members started to actually watch our shows, right? It started to actually do something. And again, that's why in any situation like this, towards the end of the story, you're going to see that the tragedy pimps in disguise, the clickbaiters in disguise, the drama pimps in disguise that have cloned themselves as someone in the community calling out the bad things Molly was doing, those people will take off their mask right at the end of the story, because it's the only thing they can do to hopefully get a few more views for a while before it all dies out. Because they weren't getting their views through debunking and telling the truth and actually giving a good opinion. They were faking it. And they were just riding along with it so that they could get some clicks. So when Molly goes away, they've got to do that. So maybe one of y'all can help me sort it out. Drop a comment with an example of JLR being defamed by someone. Please remember, y'all need to show the statement was false, actual malice existed, bonus points if you can show damages. Again, we wouldn't be able to show damages. That's something he would have to show. So you don't have to show that. That's why he says bonus points. I challenge any of you, go over and explain to him in his comments how anything I said about JLR was false or how it was malicious. If I'm saying the truth, it's not malicious. That's what these people don't understand about defamation, on top of the fact that they don't understand about damages, right? I know this one is starting to sound like a broken record. I noticed how much the mention of mass flagging chafed her ass, so I'll drop this here again for her and old JLR, and it's the YouTube thing showing that mass flagging isn't a thing on YouTube anymore. Now, again, my response to them when they cry about mass flagging, because we went to Twitter and tagged Team YouTube, is that that's not mass flagging. Tagging Team YouTube is literally asking for a team of trained people to look at what happened. Mass flagging is manipulating an algorithm to automatically take down a video without real people looking at it. You see what I'm saying? Okay. But I do appreciate what Menace did there. I think it's pretty obvious JLR's own behavior online has outlined his troubled past with women and how he appears to treat them. Oh, true, exactly. So, that's Menace's video, and that is my twice as long as I wanted it to be commentary. So again, for those of you that weren't here earlier, for the replay crew, I have been working. I got the opportunity to just do, for a couple days, a job, and I thought it was only going to happen once. It turned out, though, that they called me back, and I did a little bit more. And of course, I couldn't turn it down because I have to do everything in my power to raise money right now in order for me to be able to afford living and paying for what I have to pay for now. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm sorry that I wasn't here to live stream as much, and I apologize that I only got a couple videos up, but I've been exhausted. I've been in the sun, I've been chopping down trees, I've been moving stuff, I've been doing a lot of physical labor, and I was happy to do it. It really reset my head. It was very hot outside, a lot of sun. It reset my mind. It helped me actually get some real work done, because work on YouTube isn't just uploading a video. You want the video to be creative, you want it to be entertaining, and one thing that happens when you stream all the time and when you upload all the time is that you start to get into a flow that the flow's fine, but then as that flow becomes monotonous, as you do it a lot, it'll start to lose creativity. And going out and, you know, using every bit of the energy that I had physically, and then going even further every day with it, you know, beating myself up every day and going out and working a couple days and then doing it again has really benefited my mental state. Not in life, because my mental state in life has been great. As you guys know, we got married and things have been going really great for us. But it's really helped my mental state from the perspective of creativity. And for those of you that weren't here, I want to show you just a little bit of footage that I've been recording. And I know this kind of looks dumb, but this is going to be really good background footage for some of the commentary videos I'm doing. I think I already showed you these. Look at how beautiful that one is, though. Sorry, I ended up clicking on some of my older footage. Let me scroll down to my newer footage here. So I got a whole bunch of footage. I got a bunch of footage that I think is just going to be really good, because, you know, when we were driving really far to go do some of the stuff we had to do, I was whipping out the camera. Oh, come on, dude. There you go. I was whipping out the camera and I was just getting some really good landscapes, some really good, you know, I just have buttloads of videos of this stuff. I recorded Harl's and Harley meeting, but I'm not going to show that here right now. Oh, this is a really good one. Let me oh yeah. So I wanted to show you guys this. You guys remember the Canadian wildfires? And by the way, any of our viewers in Canada, I hope you're all right. I hope you're safe. You know, very, if you've seen the map that shows where the fires are, the fires were everywhere. The fires were so big that even in Columbus, Ohio, so the big city in Ohio, all right, this is the smoke that I'm showing you. Typically, you'd be able to see much, much further. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Tracy. I'm tired of other creators all grouping together to become YouTube police, bringing other creators up to talk about how they feel their content is wrong in their opinions, and they bully them. Well, yeah, that's wrong. Totally. We're supposed to be able to share our opinions and discuss where we agree and disagree. And that's how these people that I've bumped into over the last X amount of months portrayed themselves. Because I would talk to a few of them, I won't name them, in Discord. Right? Because back when I had my open Discord server. By the way, I'm not even using my closed Discord server right now. But my point is, I would talk to them in Discord and they would go on and on and on. And there's many people in my chat that heard these conversations talking about how they don't do those things, that they just discuss things. And you want to know when I had a really bad feeling? It's when one of the first times I talked to some of them, they were telling me that Ryan Upchurch, they knew that that Ryan is a moderator on my channel and that he jumps in my chat a lot when I'm talking about stuff that he's interested in. And me and him were going to stream together a couple times, but I was busy one time and then he was busy the other time. But so we were talking about Ryan and they were saying that he had roaches. And I was like, dude, there's no way. That's the cleanest place I've ever seen. So they pulled up a video and they were a certain kind of bug called a stink bug. That's what we call them. That's not the name of them. So what happened was in the Tennessee area, yeah, you know all about them, don't you? In the Tennessee area, and yes, this ended up going up into Ohio. It went up into Indiana. It went down and all over the place. They wanted to feed turkeys by dropping these big, nasty bugs. And they thought that these were harmless bugs to drop to feed the turkeys. Turned out they were a very invasive species. And when those bugs get scared, they emanate. They smell bad. So we call them stink bugs because if you squish them or if you whack them or if you scare them, they make it stink for a second. So I know that in the summertime in the area where Ryan lives, because I know where Ryan lives, those bugs take over. You'll like literally, we used to have big waves of those bugs in the summer go all through the area. So I was trying to tell him like, dude, those aren't roaches. Those are stink bugs. And I just got this really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. Like, why would you think that's a roach? It doesn't look like a roach. Why would you then say that Ryan has roaches? That's just messed up. Like, you look at his house, if there are roaches in his house, it's not because they're not clean. It's not because they're messy or something. And I got this really bad feeling about that. So I don't know. I don't know why that just came to my mind. But you have them in Texas? Oh, see, Lono, YouTube. Hey, Lono, thank you so much for telling me about the Switch thing, because I'm going to be playing Zelda and I hope you come by and hang. But unfortunately, Diablo came out. So I've been having to play. Speaking of which, I'm going to go play Diablo for a little bit right now with my family. So if you're one of my longtime gaming peeps and you play Diablo, join my clan. All you got to do to find my clan is search Unirock in the clan list. And it'll come up Unirock, Busy's, Besties, or something like that, okay? So put in an application to join my clan in Diablo. Let's play Diablo together. Let's get max level and let's start going around doing some crazy stuff. Let's get crazy. You have them there too, Kelly? No way, Lono. I hate those things. I hate them. There's a trick to those bugs. You take Dawn soap, like dish soap, put it in a squirt bottle. They hate that stuff. They hate it. It'll repel them. It'll kill them. It'll drive them away. I know it sounds crazy. Someone told me that once, and I went on a war. We had a 2-week warfare where we had all these big giant squirt bottles all loaded up with all the Dawn. We had those big super soakers. We were like rolling around in the yard, you know, like doing a flanking the stink bug army, and it was freaking awesome. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Yes, we will be streaming regularly again. I know you're saying, nuh-uh, Uni. Yes, I will. Keep an eye on my Kick channel, kick.com/Unirock, please. If you want to support me, yes, it would help immensely, because I haven't been, on top of the fact that I have been doing all these other things, I haven't been streaming. I haven't had my income. It's paypal.me/Unirock and $Unirock on Cash App. Anything, no matter how small, is much appreciated. Okay. Also, the book I mentioned is in the description, and if you go to that book, that is the introduction book to the novel that just released. And it is a great book. It got #1 in its category. And if you want to support me absolutely for free, go check the book out. You might have to go to the introductory book and then click to go to the other book, okay? But here in the next day or two, I will have the updated link in my About section for future streams. So anyway, that is the sponsor of this video. So thank you to all of you and to our sponsor. And I do miss you guys when I'm not streaming. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Unirock, and just use it for, actually follow me on TikTok, because I think I might start doing mobile TikTok streams instead of Twitter, because Twitter is just a shitty place. I like Twitter, the way it works. The people on Twitter are just the most nasty people. And here's one other piece of advice that I have to give the people that watch me. If you are a hater, get out of here. If you're someone that just kind of likes me, go ahead and click out. And if you are a Unirock person, can you stay and listen to this? I have one more thing to say to you. Okay, had to hit my vape. Had to hit my vape, y'all. Okay. Always remember, in this world that we're in, especially on the internet, for every person out there who is a positive person, who isn't out there to rip you off, who isn't out there to take something from you, who isn't out there to manipulate you or lie to you. For every one honest person out there, there are tens upon tens, if not hundreds of thousands of evil or just plain negative or just plain bad people. And there is only one thing that you can do as a positive person, as someone who doesn't want evil, negativity, hate, or any of that around you. And that is to put up a barrier. That's all you do. You put up a barrier. You give people a chance. You try to be welcoming. You try to be nice. But the first time you realize that that person is not what you think they are, put a barrier up. And never let that barrier down until you're sure that they aren't going to continue being that kind of person. You give people second chances. You know me, I give people third, fourth, fifth, sixth chances constantly. The thing you got to do in your personal life more than anything is to put that barrier up and not allow people who don't treat you right in your life. But on the internet, you got to be 100 times more vigilant and 100 times more restrictive, because there are not only just bad or evil people out there are people out there who, and they're pretty rare, but they will go so far to try to convince you of all the good things that they are, and all this, how smart they are and awesome they are and nice they are. And they are going to be the ones who are just waiting for an opportunity to try and lie on you or attack you or just find something else that's going on that's really fucked up so that they can try to create a drama and capitalize off of that fucked up thing that's happening, just to be a little specific at the end. So that's how you handle narcissists. It's how you handle trolls and nasty people. And that way they can go hang out with all the other nasty backstabbers. You notice how they always want to hang out with you. Those kind of people, they could go out and hang out with all those, you know, tens upon tens of thousands of nasty, evil, backstabbing people out there. They could be with them 24/17. They could hang out with hundreds of those types of nasty people all day long. They hate being around other nasty people, though. They want to find people that are positive and funny or happy or comedic, and people that are just trying to have a good time. They want to buddy up there. And then if they end up getting found out and they end up getting kicked out of the club, or they get a barrier put up on them, what do? They can't get you out of their head. They're just constantly, any little thing they can. That's how you have to learn to avoid to be. I'm Audi 5000G. I'll be back. I'm Unirock. Peace.